Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at alliseeisW, where the goal of this channel is to gain on positive proceeds and lead with an altruistic mindset. In today's video, we have a lot to cover. We'll be talking about latest updates with Opendoor technologies. In fact, even in the after hours, we're seeing Opendoor take off right now. There's been so much news going on. We have leadership change announcements, and this is what's potentially causing an upcoming short squeeze. Most of you are wondering how high is Opendoor going to be going in the coming days, weeks, and the rest of 2025, including onward. We'll cover all of those details as well as me going through technical analysis, price predictions of Open, and you don't want to miss it. Day 22, where we will have Eric Jackson in front of Drake's house to convince him to buy one share of Open. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm so grateful that you're here and you're part of the Opendoor army. Please make sure to hit the like, subscribe for more related content. Let's begin, guys. Go ahead and give Stevio a follow. He posted yesterday, open soon with the big green candle, and now he just reposted that maybe tomorrow. That's with the update that we got in the after hours. And, I think shorts are really going to try to cover right now, especially with the news that just got announced. Eric Jackson reposted the Wise 8 Men open shorts tomorrow. What's going to happen? I think a lot of the shorters are going to have to cover their positions and buy at a higher price in order to prevent losing money. So definitely huge upside. And, there's a lot of talks about whether Open is it going to be the next GameStop type of run in the coming days and weeks. Eric Jackson reposted from Deepster today. Thank you, General Eric Jackson. Let's just take a moment and just be grateful for what Eric Jackson has done. He really deserves the credit, giving thanks to him. He really deserves that recognition, that whole acknowledgement for what he's done, building the fan base, a cult, part of Open Door Technologies army. And he really deserves a lot of, respect with all the efforts he's put into the marketing. So congratulations and thank you, Eric Jackson. Mark of the Beast posts, this was GME Open looking very similar. And this is really why we open. I mean, we look at GameStop back in, 2021, January 12th, it was like $4.99. And then, less than a couple days later, like, January 25th, it went to $24. 3 days later, January 27th, it went to $88. So you see, just from January 12th to, January 27th, 15 days within a span of 2 weeks, we've seen it run up to $88. Question is, can Opendoor, squeeze up to $82 in the next coming weeks? History doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme, especially when you got the Open Army community. Trend Spider posts Open up 38% in after hours trading, new CEO appointment, return of co-founders, angel investors, new $40 million investment, more fuel for the squeeze. Opendoor, just look at the charts, looks amazing. We'll cover the technicals as well. Kaz is the new CEO. So he posted on X, after 6 years at Shopify, I'm joining Opendoor as CEO. Here's why. It is incredibly important that we all use all of our energy and every modern tool at our disposal to build products that make our home ownership easier. We must make the process of buying and selling a home less frictional so more people do it. Home ownership is just about a house. It's about families and communities. The West has been built on the idea that ordinary people can stake a claim in their society and put down roots and build a future. Renters moves, owners stay. That matters. Studies show homeowners vote more, volunteer more, and are more likely to invest in their communities. It's not sentiment, it's data. Homeowners report higher life satisfaction and health outcomes. They have higher trust in our institutions and stronger families. Ownership builds generational stability. Societies with broad-based ownership are stronger. Alexis saw it in America 200 years ago. Nothing has changed. Communities full of homeowners are better communities. When people own, they maintain. Crime rates fall when ownership rises. Why? Because people guard what's theirs. They police and take care of their neighborhoods, not out of fear, but pride. Ownership ties individuals to the fate of the community. Home ownership is about putting down roots, and these roots tie us together and make our world better. That is why the work to be done at Opendoor is so incredibly important. And that is why I believe we can build not just a successful company, but a generational company, one that empowers the promise of the West to be unlocked in the ways it was always intended. Today, Opendoor is the largest digital platform for residential real estate transactions, making it possible to buy, sell, and move at the tap of a button. We are 1% done along this journey. My experience at Shopify showed me what happens when you build a platform that unleashes innovation at scale. Shopify gave millions of entrepreneurs the tools to change their lives, their families, and their communities. That platform mindset is what I hope to bring to Opendoor to build a platform for home ownership, one that unlocks opportunity for millions of families and strengthens the fabric of society. That is why I am so incredibly proud that I get to support this team in our mission to use everyday tool at our disposal to make selling, buying, and owning a home easier. AI gives us the chance to accelerate this work in ways never before thought possible, from simplifying the process of buying and selling to unlocking personalized pathways to ownership. AI can help millions of families access homes more efficiently, more affordably, and more transparently than ever before. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to redefine what's possible in real estate. Very resonating summary. And, kudos to the new CEO Kaz for joining the Opendoor team. Open News is one screenshot. Thanks, Robinhood. So, just with the updates from Robinhood, Opendoor shares rise after new CEO appointment and board changes boost AI-driven growth hopes. So, new CEO and board appointments. Opendoor named Kaz, former Shopify, as CEO. As board member, co-founders Keith and Eric Wu rejoined the board, with Rabois becoming chairman. This leadership change aligns with Opendoor's AI-focused strategy. Keith said Nejatian is the right leader to unlock Opendoor's data and build an AI-first company. Kaz emphasized making home buying simpler and faster with AI. So we also have private equity investment. Khosla Ventures and Eric Wu are investing 40 million in Opendoor through private equity agreements. This capital injection supports the company's growth and AI-driven platform development. The investment signals confidence for key insiders and venture partners in Opendoor's new direction. So you got money inflows, you got a new CEO, you got angel investors returning. This is all icing on the cake. Opendoor can really squeeze. Let's take a look at this post on the fundamentals. Open sold almost 100 homes and made 42 million in sales just in the last 24 hours. Now, every home that Open sells, they get a 5% return. That eliminates the middleman, with human realtors where they get more than that. This is the highest I have seen. Data is showing them that they are gaining traction with the new CEO, founders coming back on board. I don't think anything can stop it now. And that's why we have a big, compelling use case story. We got big timers like, Rob Snyder, Anthony Pompliano, a lot of ex-influencers are really looking at Opendoor. And this is why we believe, the potential short squeeze is here to stay, and it's going to be coming very soon. Couch Investor, just summarizes, Kaz as a CEO. Founders Rabois and Eric Wu rejoined the board with, the big time 40 million in pipe financing. It's a privilege to become Opendoor's leader. Few life events are as important as buying or selling a home. With AI, we have the tools to make that experience radically simpler, faster, and more certain. That's the future we're building. Let's pivot over to technical analysis. We're looking at, just the hourly candles. What are we seeing? I mean, during the last couple of days, starting Monday, Tuesday, we've been seeing some consolidation. At one point, right, Open on Monday went up to like $7.42. It started pulling back to, $6. Today, it had some consolidation, and towards the end of the market, it pulled down to like, in the $5 range. And what had happened since we got the sell signal, the squeeze momentum, dissipated. And then what happened? We got news announced in the after hours, and this is really gonna, short squeeze, a lot of people who are shorting the company. And where we are right now with the stock, ended $5.88, now hovering over $8. I think we're at the prime point where we could potentially see double digits and even higher. So the sky's the limit right now. And we've seen what happened with GameStop during the COVID era, where stocks just shot up significantly. It just went vertical. So I wouldn't be surprised where we're going to see the squeeze momentum indicator just go vertical here. Let's zoom out, look even further beyond, and just look at how Open had performed over the course of many years. So back in 2021, I mean, this stock was at around $40. Since then, it's just been bleeding out. I mean, we're just seeing heavy sell signals for the many years since COVID timeframe. And what have we seen since? Squeeze momentum indicators started turning up. We had the share price start slowly but surely climbing up. Colt Army, through Open is building up, getting bigger, louder, and stronger. And now we got a lot more people buying in. I think we're gonna, bypass this happy face, and soon enough, we're gonna be launching to new levels. I think when you think about a stock that could short squeeze, Opendoor has that potential. We're seeing a lot of stocks out there, like with the BMNR stock, buying at $1.50 Octo. It went up 5,000% in a day. And we're seeing like Oracle run like 50% in a day. This really puts, companies, especially growth stocks like Opendoor, hidden gems, to you really add value and really bring in more retail, more financial institutions, Goldman Sachs loading up. This is really potentially one of the stocks that could really just shoot up significantly. We talk about how this is going to be the next Carvana stock, triple digits. I think it's a matter of when, not if. We got big time CEO from Shopify coming on board now. That just tells you how strong Opendoor is going to be, especially when you bring in a big name leader from Shopify who knows the business model there, and then now applying it to Opendoor technologies with AI. I think, we are early on, and I wouldn't be surprised where we're going to see a vertical squeeze here.
Hey guys, day 22. I'm really excited to have my first co-host here on now we're into the fourth week in front of Drake's house. So welcome John Ehrlichman for joining me.
Thanks, Eric. You've started your own literal network out here outside Drake's house. I'm honored to be here with you.
So we could turn this into like a regular talk show format, but we had a chat earlier on John's feed that you guys can check out later, where we went in a little bit in depth on why I'm here and why we've been talking in front of Drake's house. But I just wanted to say thanks to John for joining us and being part of the unofficially a member of the Open Army here, John.
So. Well, I've been watching closely, and as many of your followers know, we were very curious about your Opendoor investment going back to earlier in the summer. And since we first spoke to you about it, I mean, the stock has more than doubled, and it's getting a lot of attention around the world. So we had to come out and see what you're doing with this next phase. But it is pretty amazing that you've been getting people interested in the stock market, which is what we're all about. And in countries around the world, it's been amazing, Eric.
That's why we're here. We're trying to convince Future to go heavy into Open. If he thinks it's a wise investment decision, I can give him all the reasons why I think it is. But we're also just trying to get all of Jake's fans to kind of get excited about the stock market and find that as a productive way of investing their money. So thanks, John, for joining me here today. And hopefully we'll have more exciting guests like John in the future.
It's great. I love it. And, we got the phone booth, and, we used to talk to each other on phone calls through a phone booth. Now we talk to each other on cell phones. And
see, that's why John is here. I would never have made that guy. John does.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
So there you have it. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you took from today's updates. How excited are you? What your predictions is for Open? I'd love to hear, where you're watching from. Thanks, guys, for all your support. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure to smash the like and subscribe for more related content. Thanks.